Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Healing Conversations. My name is Zainab Avni. I'm an empowerment coach and energy healer. And this podcast, Healing Conversations for Anything Chronic, is really for anyone suffering from chronic pain, chronic illnesses, or any other chronic issues. And the message that I wish to bring with this podcast is the message of alternative hope. So I hope that there is something here for you. I hope that you just sit back and enjoy this conversation. And today, my lovely guest is Julie-Sian King. Hello, Julie-Sian. Very nice to
Hello,
have you here.
I'm so
Um,
excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's get started with my usual question. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Julie-Sian. I'm predominantly known as the Manifesting Mentor Queen. I'm known as a Reiki Master. I'm also a tarot reader, etc. And I'm also the creator of Reiki Teddy, the bear with a healing hug. And hopefully today I'm going to explain a little bit about Reiki, what it is, about the healing benefits of a hug, so important, and just also show you briefly how I combine the two, Reiki and a hug, with Reiki Teddy, the bear with a healing hug. So, as I said, I'm a Reiki master. I trained about 30 years ago, roughly. Um, and part of that training, there's 3 levels to Reiki. There's a level 1 and a level 2, and then what we call a Reiki master. And then a level 1 is which most people, when they get introduced to it, and Reiki is a healing modality. It's an energy healing modality. So we're channeling energy from source, whatever you want to call source, God, the universe, wherever it comes from, and it's a healing energy. And we are, when you train to be Reiki, basically we are a vessel, and we are a vessel to channel this energy. So we are not Reiki ourselves. The energy comes through us. So what they do is they put you through what we call like an attunement, which is like opening a vessel on your head. The simple things, it's just like a vessel opening up. So you're opening up to the vibration of Reiki. So you're open to that energy, and then this energy flows, and then it goes through you to where it needs. Now, Reiki, the definition, is the universal life force energy. It's a healing energy that comes from Japan, by my brain is gone, and it's quite a modern thing, energy. But basically, energy is everywhere we look. Everything is made up of energy. I'm not here to give you a physics lesson. But basically, atoms, neurons, neutrons, everything, the beds, the chairs, your phone, there's energy. Everything everywhere is made up of energy. We are energy people. And the energy, depending on how it vibrates, looks at vibration of a chair, the vibration of a phone, the vibration of whatever. It all looks different things, and we are an energy form. And this is what Reiki is an energy form. And what it does, it comes into rebalance, because when people have a disease, the word disease is dis, ease, ease. So we're out of ease of our body. So whenever we are ill, we are out of ease. And the whole idea of being at ease is our energy is in alignment. And when we are out of alignment, we then feel out of ease. We feel pain, we feel upset, we feel despair, we feel, all these, because those are feeling of our energies. And depending on people's belief systems, when we get stagnant, the energy gets blocked. And that energy blockage will cause different things. I mean, we all know that if you sit too long, when you stand up, it's like, because your body's got stuck in one energy. We are built to move. And so then with the being able to move our body, we'll release that stiffness, we'll release that pain. Now, depending on who you listen to and different people's belief system, different pains cause different diseases, etc., like that. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm talking about the energy of Reiki. Now, Reiki, as its energy, it flows like a river, and it flows to where it needs. Now, as you know, we humans got ego, and we want this, we want that, and quite often that's because we're wanting something. But Reiki is on our highest good, our highest level, because it wants us to feel good, it wants us to feel great, it wants to enhance our well-being. So therefore, sometimes what we think is what we need, that's ego. What it is, it's like, well, actually, oh, got this, and then it goes, no, you need sleep, because sleep is the highest form of release. So that's why it says, you're feeling tired, we're going to make you feel tired because we want you to sleep, because sleep is a great healer. But this energy, it works on our 5 elements, which is physical, mental, emotional, psychological, and spiritual. And so whichever area we're out of order, it will ease. So sometimes you think, oh, I'm really sad, so you want to be the emotional healing. But actually, what it's saying is, no, the psychological reason you're feeling sad is because you're feeling the victim and you're still living in the past. So the Reiki is going to work on the psychological side, is to go, look, you're no longer the victim. You acknowledge it happened. You're now the survivor. So the Reiki will work on the psychological, and then you'll start feeling really good. So you think, oh, the Reiki's gone to my feeling. But no, the healing was required on the psychological side. But we don't think that. We just go, I'm really sad. And then you suddenly go, oh, no, I'm no longer a victim. I'm a survivor. He doesn't have that effect on me. So this is how it works. It flows. So Reiki knows where you want, and it flows to where it is. The wonderful thing about Reiki is it's non-invasive. You don't take your clothes off for it. You can receive it standing, lying down, hopping on one foot, We Reiki practitioners, we either do it by laying our hands on a person, but me personally, I very rarely, because it's like the energy's flowing through my body to the person. And so a lot of Reiki, some Reiki practitioners do it with hands on, some people do it hands off, a bit like spiritual healing. Some spiritual healers work hands on or hands off. But the wonderful thing about Reiki is it's not confined by time, space, or anything like that. Because it's energy, energy can flow anywhere. So this is why when we say we can send healing, so I could send healing to you, because it just goes, right, boom, I'm going to send it to you. But the thing is, because it's not constrained by time, I could send it to you now. And because we're talking, it's like you probably don't really want it at this moment in time. So what you could say is, right, well, thank you for sending it, but I will tap into it like later tonight when I'm in bed. So what you can say is, thank you for the healing. So I can send the healing now, but then when you go to bed tonight, you go, right, I'm ready to receive, or whatever words you feel comfortable. And you go, right, well, I'm ready to receive that Reiki while I'm asleep. And then off you go to sleep. And then the Reiki comes to you. And it's like the Reiki I send is kept in a waiting room. Mm-hmm. So when you're ready to tap into it, I could go. So that's why I can send Reiki to someone in Australia. And of course, they're up at the moment. But again, it's my daytime things. So this is why we can tap into Reiki anytime we want. We can just go, I'm ready to receive. The other thing about Reiki, we can send it, as I said, time is not a constraint. So if we are constantly thinking about something in the past when we're the victim, we can actually say, you know what, Reiki, I no longer want to be the victim. I don't want to be the poor me, because I don't want that to affect me anymore. So I'm going to send Reiki to that event that happened in the past, and it will help release it. And then you go through the forgiveness and the things like that. And then you suddenly, like I said, you then become the survivor and then the thriver. So you can send it to the past for the highest good. And then I've healed that situation. So then you're healed. The other thing about Reiki, you can send it to the future. So, for example, you got an interview next week and you want the interview to come out for the highest benefit of everyone. Okay. So you're going to say, I'd like to send healing or Reiki to this interview, so it comes out to the highest benefit of everyone involved. And then when you go to it, quite often, because you're so nervous, you forget you've sent the Reiki. But the Reiki is there making sure, because it's to our highest vibration, it wants us to have the best outcome. Now, sometimes people go, well, how come I didn't get that interview? Why didn't I get the job? It's because the universe went, that wasn't the perfect job, because you then go to the next interview, and that is the perfect job, because it's saying it wasn't to the highest benefit, because we could have got you to the job, but you could have gone to it and then you could have been really unhappy and things like that and go, why didn't I go for the job? So this is why sometimes when you think, why didn't it work out? That's the ego. It's because the universe is working to your highest vibration. Does that make sense?
It does. Of course it does. Of course it does.
Yeah. So it's like I said, in a way, Reiki is a healing modality. It can be used for any age, babies to the elderly, no matter. People use Reiki for when people are passing over. And people go, well, isn't Reiki a healing, meant to heal them? And we find that people, when they are passing, the Reiki calms them down and it makes the passing easier, if that makes sense to you. Because some people, get that. So often people do give Reiki to people who are passing, because it's like, because I remember when my mother was passing, I was giving her Reiki and she was getting really anxious and stressed. She was unconscious, but she was stressing out. And as soon as I was starting doing the healing, it was like calming her energy down. And then she was calmed, and then she was like going in, sounds awful, into a deeper unconscious, deeper sleep. And then when she would come to, then she was thrashing around because she wasn't aware what was going on. So I then would give her a little bit more Reiki, and it was just it was just calming it, relaxing it down. And so the pass. Reiki, some hospitals have Reiki practitioners, especially in cancer centers. So a lot of cancer centers have Reiki practitioners go in there. But yeah, Reiki can be used for anyone, any age, and you can actually Reiki anything. You can Reiki the food you eat. So you got your food and you go, I'm going to Reiki that. So the food, the nutrition that I'm receiving from this food or from this drink is going to really benefit me. So you can Reiki anything. You can Reiki your day. You can Reiki your food, your objects, your animal. Oh my gosh. I specialize in horse and dog Reiki. Animals love Reiki, and it's so calming. So it's really beneficial. So,
and can I just ask, in the podcast, I guess we mostly the frame is the chronic issues.
Yeah, chronic pain. Yes.
And I'm just wondering, so how would that work? Do you need to have a package, like a few sessions, or?
Yeah. Well, when sorry to interrupt. When you've got chronic pain, you can get really anxious, stressed, upset, emotion. And so this is where the Reiki there, like I said, it's helping with the emotion. It helps you because is there a cure to it? I don't know, miracles. We're not going there. But what it does, it helps you to relax, because when you are because when you get pain, automatic with pain, you tense. And it's the worst thing you can do, because tensed muscles go into like that, and then they're getting painful because they're holding. So the idea of the Reiki, it's to try and relax you. And then when you're relaxed and not feeling stressed and anxious, you can then deal with the chronic pain easily, if that makes sense to you. So that's where it comes from. It's on the emotional side, the psychological side with chronic pain. It just helps to relax you down, because that's what Reiki does. It's healing and it's relaxing. And I find most people, when they come for Reiki, or anyone, I say to them, did you feel anything? No, but I'm feeling really relaxed. And I went, that's what you needed. I'm feeling relaxed. Because people forget that relaxation is a part of well-being. You want to be relaxed. You want to be stress-free. You don't want to be anxious. And when you're having this Reiki, yes, it may not cure, say you've got a slipped disc that's causing the chronic pain. So the Reiki itself may not help that slipped disc. However, it will help you relax and cope. So it'll help you with the psychological, yeah, I can deal with it, it's happening, help me breathe easily. And when you're breathing into the pain and relaxing it down, then it's like, yeah, I know it's there, but sometimes the Reiki will take it from a level 10 to like a level 7 or a level 6. And of course you can cope with the pain when it's a level 6. You still got the slip disc, but it just relaxes you down. It calms you down, because we all know when you're calm, you can cope with things a lot easier than when you're stressed and anxious and crying and things like that. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I mean, no, I'm going to. I've got I suffer some severe diverticulosis, and when that pain comes, oh, you know, I mean, crying, and you know, you doubled up, and it's just like can't. And then when I have my arthritis, when I'm crippled and it swells and stuff like that, I give myself a lot of self-healing, self-Reiki to go, like, you know, because it's just like, it's because all you can do is like, oh, I'm in pain, and everything is just focused on that pain and nothing else can do. So with the Reiki, it's like, right, I'm going to self-Reiki is mainly this answer. I sort of self-Reiki and I go sending Reiki. And also what I'm doing is, because it's just slight distraction therapy, I'm going to think of Reiki, you know, and then it's like sending Reiki, let it ease the pain. And then it's like, yeah. And then I'm aware that the pain is there, but rather than being a 10 and all my focus is pain, it's like, yeah, it's still there, but it means I can get on with my life. And that's where Reiki is. It helps mainly with chronic pain people, helps them de-stress, relax. Does that make sense?
So when someone comes to you and say they're in chronic pain, or you know, say they're in pain, or how do you work out what is the kind of healing that you need to send, or where you need to
well, like
I
said, Reiki knows where it wants to go. If I start deciding what it is, that's my ego getting in its way. That's me, Julie-Sian, getting in the way. I put it up to the universe, because I am very spiritual. I work with dragons, unicorns, angels. I work mainly with Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. Archangel Raphael is the healing archangel. So I always call in my spirit guides. And so I actually use my intuition. So if someone came to me for a treatment for Reiki, yes, they will get Reiki. However, I will be using crystals. I may use pendulums. I might be using music. I may be using essential oils, because I will be talking to spirits and what is needed. And every treatment is completely different, because someone might come, the same client might come stressed one day. Next time they come, they may be anxious, or another day they may be feeling something else. So each treatment is going to be so individual. But basically, I just say Reiki on, and then I just walk around the person sending the Reiki, and the Reiki does the work. It's because I'm just channeling and I'm just walking around. If I start thinking, oh, this person's got pain and they've got pain in their hips, I'm going to concentrate on the pain in the hip. However, if you are got any knowledge about Louise Hay, you heal your body. To her, she would say a hip is not wanting to move forward. Why aren't you moving forward and things? So this is, I'm not sort of saying you created it. So I would be going, oh, they've got hip pain, osteoarthritis and things like that, but I'm not there to diagnose. What they're saying is actually a little bit is, you know what? You've got the pain, it's stopping you forward. You can move forward. Let's do the psychological. Yeah, let's embrace your new life. Let's see how you can. And then they get off and they go, you know what, I'm feeling energy. Maybe I can go and do this instead, or I can do. And it's like, yay. And then suddenly the pain in their hip is not as fierce, because they've had that psychological. But what I've done is, if I went as a Julie-Sian, I go, oh, hip pain. But when I go Reiki, the Reiki is going, right, one of the problems, yes, there's a hip pain, but another problem is they are thinking, I've got this pain, so I can't do this, I can't do that. The Reiki goes, no, we're going to change your mindset. Just because you've got the hip pain, you can still paint with your hands, you can still sing, you can still write, You can
Yeah.
still live a life, but you may be stuck in a wheelchair, not being horrible. So this is where the cycle, and then it's like, oh yeah, I've got the hip pain, but then they're feeling, yes, I can move. And that's where I leave it to Reiki. The Reiki knows what needs to be done, rather than me, Julie-Sian, going, oh, you got this, because I'm not a doctor. So I can't diagnose, and I won't ever diagnose. So does that make sense a little bit?
It does. It does.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to hear a little bit more about the Reiki Teddy. How
The
did that
Reiki
come about?
Teddy. Well, what it is, because as I said, when you get attuned to Reiki, you channel, you're like, you're opened up. So you put this, literally put the Reiki into someone. And there's 3 levels. Like I said, there's the basic level, which is everyone. The second level, which is where basically you can then, you learn what we call symbols, but then you can get insurance, that which you can then practice. So it means like GCSEs, A levels, and then there's the master, which is university. With the A levels, which is the Reiki level 2, you can actually go out and you can get insurance and you can practice it on other people. With Reiki 1, you can do it on your friends and family, but to earn a living, you need level 2, which is the deeper level. And then Reiki master basic means I can then attune people. So I've got Reiki Teddy here. This is the large brown one. So Reiki Teddy, what I do with him is I actually attune him to Reiki. Now he's attuned to what I call Reiki master level. So he's attuned to the maker. I'm also got angelic Reiki in me. So I also attune him to angelic Reiki, and I also tune him to heart center love. So as you can see, it's a sitting Teddy. It's quite big. I've got the big one here. And basically, because he is full of Reiki, and as I said, Reiki goes where it is. So simple, putting it simple, I've put the Reiki into the Teddy. You then get the Teddy, and you just go Reiki on. So the Reiki I've put into him, so it's like the waiting room. So he's like the waiting room. And then when you're ready, you just sit there and you hug him. Or you can have him sitting on the side, like for a baby. If you've got a toddler and it's sleeping and it's got snuffles and you've got it in its cot, you put the Teddy by the side of the bed and you go, Teddy, send Reiki healing when the baby's sleeping. So the Reiki. So like I said, this is a conduit. It's like the channel. So I've put the Reiki in here. It will stay there. Once you've got Reiki in you, you've always got it. It's virtually impossible to remove it. It's something like, if you use it every day, it gets more and more stronger. If you don't want to use it, it's always there. It's just there. But if you want to reuse it, so if you get the Teddy and you never use it again, that's fine. But the more you use it, the stronger it gets. But it's always going to have Reiki. So if you just have it sitting there for 6 months and then go, oh, I'm not very well, and then you get into it. And then you just ask and you just say, send Reiki to me. Or another thing you can use it, because as it's Reiki, you can use it for distant healing. So if you've got a friend who's got chronic healing, you can, with the intention, it's the intention of pure love, unconditional. So you can ask Reiki Teddy to send healing to one of your friends. You can send, so you can ask. So Reiki Teddy is like having your own Reiki master on call 24 hours a day. And that's where it is. I mean, the concept came from, this is the original. This is Cuddles. Yes, he's rather old and rather tatty. Where it comes from, very quickly, the Reiki Teddy story is that when my children were ill, I've still got them. My son has Asperger's, is autistic, and my daughter had heart conditions. And whenever they were poorly or ever stressing out or anything, I would go, quick, hug Reiki, hug Cuddles. He's called Cuddles, because he was all cuddly. So this is Cuddles. And I used to give them Cuddles. So like my daughter's one, I go, you hold Cuddles, I'll nip and go and get the Calpol. Or Mummy's going to go and get your lollipop or something like that. Hold on to Cuddles. So they would be holding on to Cuddles. But as soon as they were better, because he was old and tatty, I mean, he's like nearly 60 years now, I would then put him away because he's not a toy. And then when I trained to do Reiki, they said the best way of sending Reiki to someone when you're learning, this is like level 2, you have a toy. So we attuned our teddies to level 2. And then if I got someone, they go, I've got a pain in my right arm. This is when you're learning. I would go, right, you've got a pain in your right arm. So I imagine you, and I'm holding this right arm. And so I've got Teddy, my friend has got a pain in the right arm, and they would receive it, or the same with the hip, because it's like a human being, you know, pain in my ear, pain on my nose, you know, so you've got all the body areas. So you would hold this. Now, my friend came along, she's got fibromyalgia. And if any one of your friends have got fibromyalgia, horrible. And my friend and my daughter was, she goes, what are you doing with cuddles? And she goes, I'm getting healing from my mummy's teddy. And she went, you know what I could do with some healing? I could do with teddy. So I said, give me a teddy. So I visited her. So I Reiki'd her teddy. And she said, do you know what? This really worked. She says this, and I went, this is a great idea. So between her and I, we came up with the concept of people, because she says everyone could do with their own cuddles. Mm. But of course, they don't do this teddy anymore. It was so old. This is like 50 years ago. So I went to things, and I came across this teddy, and I just saw him. I thought, this is Reiki Teddy. This is him. And again, you know, you can send pain for the legs, the hips, you know, so it's the shape of the body. He is a seated teddy. This is the large one. They do come white or brown, this white one. Like I said, this small. And basically, it is just healing. And you're just receiving hugs. And like I said, there's 7 amazing, powerful benefits of a hug. I've got them written down, so I'll quickly go through them. So because hugging is so important. A hug releases all your good hormones, you know, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. So a hug releases that. Those are your feel-good hormones. So a hug for anyone is good. It strengthens our relationships. You know, you can get a connection with someone, giving them a hug. So you're connecting your relationship to yourself, because you're asking for healing for yourself. It's not selfish to be self-fulfilling, to ask healing for yourself, because you're asking, you know, for the highest good. Because if you're well, you can help everyone else. If you're not well, you're not going to be performing at your highest good. So receiving a hug for yourself is good for your well-being. It does improve your psychological well-being, because it just boosts, because it boosts your well-being because of the serotonin. Apparently, they've done research, and it can help. A hug can help lower your heart rate and blood pressure, and that's due to the oxytocin. Because when you have a hug, releases oxytocin, and oxytocin can help lower your heart rate. It makes you feel calm. So when you're having someone who's stressed out, and you know, when you give them a hug, they go, oh, I'm so calm now. It calms you down. So when you're hugging a teddy, it calms you down. It can reduce loneliness. Now, you know, during the COVID, so many people, because you couldn't have human touch, you weren't connected. And most people said, when you ask people, what did you miss? And they went, human touch, a hug. It made you feel connected. So when you have a hug with someone, even if you are living on your own, meeting your friend and having a quick hug, it's like, yeah, I'm connected. Yeah, I do live on my own, but I'm connected to someone. I've got that human touch. And it also increases self-esteem. It gives you a feeling of safety, love, and security. You know, if you're feeling that and someone gives you a hug, yeah, I do feel loved. I feel secure in your embrace. You know, so there's so many powerful messages. And it says, I've put him down because he's a bit big. How long should you have a hug for? Well, interesting. A 10-second hug can help the body to ease depression, and a 20-second hug tempers the stress of conflict. So if you're feeling stressed or things, give someone a 10-second hug, or give them a 20-second. But the best length of a hug, they reckon, is 30 seconds. 30 seconds from the, I'm going to give you a hug, hold for 20 seconds, then you release slowly after 20 seconds, and then you smile. So that takes 30 seconds from the starting instignation of a hug, having the hug, release slowly, ending with a smile, 30 seconds. And the world will be so much better. Does that make sense?
That's the magic number.
Yes,
it does. I love this idea of the teddy bear, and I'm sure it is very helpful and very healing to people that get them.
Yeah, I mean, there is a thing called doll therapy. Doll therapy is classed as non-invasive pharmaceutical intervention. And basically what it is they found people with like Alzheimer's, like a lady, and they would give them a doll. And then they would have a clear mind, because the doll would remind them of being a baby, and they would talk about when they had their children, or the doll would talk about when they were a little girl having a doll's pram and stuff. So this a doll therapy is a known therapy where they give them, but they found that giving a man a doll, then a man often didn't mind it, but what it was their adult children would come and go, "Why is my dad holding a doll?" And they go, "Well, he's talking about childhood. He's talking about you as a baby." But people think, why is a man holding a doll? So they would give a man a teddy bear. Mm-hmm. And it is known as part of a non-invasive pharmaceutical intervention therapy. They use dolls and teddy bears for people with Alzheimer's, because it gives them clarity. It gives them, reminding them when they're a child of that, and then they start talking about it. So there is there is a lot behind this Reiki Teddy. It's, you get the healing, you get the hugs, but there is a known therapy. If you check it on Google it, doll therapy, teddy bear therapy, it is a known proper therapy. So I've mixed the hugs with the Reiki, with the doll therapy, and then we've got Reiki Teddy. And I've got them in Australia, New Zealand, Alaska, California, New York. I have them all around the world. People buy. So yeah.
And of course, in a minute we're going to finish the conversation, and afterwards I will put all of your links behind below. So anyone wanting to find out more, or to get a teddy bear, a Reiki Teddy, they're very welcome to. Julie-Sian, it was lovely to have you here today and tell us a little bit, really educate us about Reiki and the hugs and of course the teddies. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And if I've just educated someone a little bit on Reiki, that's all I want them to know. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.